Hello everyone. Today I chose to show you how to analyze DeFi protocol and more specifically to check how they are dealing with oracles. And I decided to study today the protocol scream.sh on Phantom due to recent events. Maybe you heard about that, but they had a depeg of FUSD and DAI protocol, and so it affected their users, and they were saying that it was a problem mostly of Oracle settings. So I've decided to check a bit more that's the situation. What is Scream? Scream is a protocol on Phantom where you can deposit and borrow some assets. This is the main page, and these are all the assets or tokens that you can deposit and borrow. On DeFi Llama, you can see that currently this is the total amount in dollar that is locked in the protocol. Now we will have a look at the documentation in the price oracle, and they are saying that they are using 3 different oracles to fetch live on-chain asset prices: Chainlink, Band Protocol, and a Scream oracle. So this is a handmade contract. Now we will go to the code of the oracle. We can find it here. And for the code, we'll have a look at the function get underlying price. Okay, yes. This is the function that we are interested in. So they are getting the address of an asset on Scream. Then they are getting with that address the price from Chainlink, the price from Band Protocol. If both are different of 0, they check if there is a huge difference between them or not. The difference is 10%. You can see it here. And if the difference is not too huge, they will return the average between these 2 prices. Only then, if only the Chainlink price is different of 0, you return it. Same for Band Protocol. And if all of these are prices equal to 0, they will return the price based on the homemade Scream oracle. We will have a look now at how Chainlink oracle works specifically. So they are using an aggregator associated with C token, and they get the last price. We will go in the code. Let's see, for instance, for FUSDT, we will get the aggregator associated to FUSDT and open it on Phantom Scan. Just for you to see, but you see a number of decimal and what is the token and the pair that is returned by that aggregator. It's important because then I took all of the tokens currently active on Scream, and I checked what were the address and the pair that was returned by the associated aggregator. And I had some surprises. This is my loop. So for FUSDT, as we've seen, the aggregator with this address returns the price of this pair. BFI, it's also good, but you see on Frax, they return the price of USDC USD because they may have assumed that both are stablecoins. So it's okay if we return the price of USDC for Frax. Actually, it's not. Same for dollar, same for TUSD, same for FUSD, and same for DAI. And recently, we had the problem of DAI depegging, meaning it was not equal to one DAI was not equal anymore to $1, and same for FUSD. So this wrong mapping between aggregator of one stablecoin and another stablecoin were the source of the recent problem that we have seen here about that problem. Okay, now we will have a look at how BEN protocol is working. Let's see here, code. So BEN protocol is working with a symbol, associated symbol. Yes. So you get from the contract the symbol associated with an address of C token. And if the symbol is not an empty string, you will return the price from BEN protocol. And you send to BEN the symbol of the token and also quote symbol. So you want the price in which currency, and quote symbol here is equal to USD. Yes. But if there is no symbol associated or an empty string associated to a C token address, the BEN protocol will return a zero price. Let's see here, underlying symbol. Okay, we'll do the same. We'll check for FUSDT. It returns the USDT symbol. Let's check another one, BFI. It returns an empty string. So I automated that test, and you can see that only for FUSDT, a symbol exists, meaning that BEN protocol will return a price different of zero only for that asset. And for all the other, it will return a price of zero. What are these tokens? It's a list of tokens that are closed in Phantom, Scream, but they are still in the protocol. But we will ignore them, and we focus only on this 18 assets. And we can also have a look for both Chainlink aggregators and symbols for BEN protocol to the last events, because we see on that oracle that some event can happen. Aggregator updated. So the impacted C token and the new aggregator. And there is another event underlying symbol updated. This is for Bent protocol, where for a given C-token address, you change the symbol. And on Python, I checked the last event. You can see that mostly it was last year. And this year, they modified the aggregator. For instance, you can see MIM. MIM was also associated to an aggregator giving the price of USDC last year, but this year they modified it in January for a specific oracle just for MIM. And for Bent protocol, also mostly symbols was mostly changed last year, except for 5 tokens for Ethereum, Bitcoin, Curve, Wrap Phantom, and YFI. And it means that it deactivated the oracle of Bent for these 5 tokens recently. Then we will have a look at the V1 price oracle. Contract, with contracts, V1 price oracle. I don't know what is, yes. Okay, as usual, we will check the code. And we'll also check the current values in that. Okay, price oracle. And what are the values? Okay. So for each asset, we will have a price, and we'll have also an anchor. And the price should not be the difference between the price and the anchor should not be too far. One person can modify the anchor price, and we see that it's a wallet, it's not a contract. And same for the person being able to modify the price manually. It's also a wallet and not a contract. And what I've done is to check with Python for each of these token, what was the price and what was the values for the anchor. And what we see is that only for Wrapped Phantom, for DAI, and for USDC, the price and the anchor are different of 0, meaning that out of 18 assets, only 3 have a price defined via this V1 Oracle protocol, V1 Oracle contract, sorry. And also in the code, I had a little surprise because the comments are not very clear, and they say that they are not using a USD price, but they are using a Ethereum way price. Look, it's here. For example, for OMG token, if it's worth 5 times the S price, it would be the price of 5 WETH. And it was a bit confusing for me because we are on Phantom blockchain and it should not be in Ethereum, but in Phantom. And also I thought it was in dollar because then it's compared in the, I don't have the doc anymore, but they say that they are using 3 different oracles. Here is in USD, here is in USD, and this would be in Wei. So that was a bit confusing. Even if the fact that the one being able to modify the price of the anchor and of the current price, these addresses are different. This is good, is a good separation of duty. But maybe the person is the same, and the fact that both are not contracts but only wallets is a bit concerning for me. And we can see also the last events, but I did it here. And for the last event, you see that the prices are not set very often on that contract, mostly last year. So I've made a summary. The first column is for Chainlink, and here you have all the assets we studied. It's green when the aggregator returns the specific price of the token, and it's orange for FUSD, Frax, dollar, USD, and day. Then for BEN protocol, we've seen that only for USDT a price is returned, because for all the others, the symbol is an empty string, so no price can be returned for these tokens. And the Oracle V1, we've seen that only a price only exists for 3 assets, but it's set manually. It's set manually. That's why I put everything in red or orange, because this is not a real-time on-chain price. And as a result, even if here it's said that they are using 3 oracles and for live on-chain asset prices, we have found 2 oracles for FUSDT, one for 6, no, one for 12 assets, and for 5 assets, the oracle is not the correct one, and will provide a price of $1 for stablecoins, even if there is a risk for each of them to depeg and to go lower than $1. The impact of this is that people will be able to deposit some tokens, and this token will be considered by the protocol Scream to be worth more than they actually worth. And so these users will be able to borrow more assets than they should be able to do. And that's the end of that video. I think, and I hope that that analysis could be useful to someone. And if you have other suggestions or feedbacks, please tell me. I would be very glad to read them. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.